A note to every other player in the NBA, when Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo is driving straight at you, get out of the way. The man is nicknamed the Greek Freak. Why? Because that's what he is, a damn freak. He is big, tall, and long. He makes posters out of many NBA players, and they are nothing short of spectacular. To celebrate the greatness that is Giannis, let's take a stroll down memory lane with his 10 best highlights. But before we jump into the top highlights, dunks, and plays of the Greek Freak's career, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and make sure to share the video if you enjoy it. Number 10. Get used to seeing Giannis posterize the Knicks in this countdown. Giannis Antetokounmpo stunned the Knicks and the Madison Square Garden crowd with an end-to-end block-to-dunk sequence that is worth rewatching from all angles. With a little less than 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter and the Bucks leading 15-11, Antetokounmpo tracked back on defense as Tim Hardaway Jr. pushed ahead on a fast break. Antetokounmpo blocked Hardaway's wild, spinning attempt at the rim and took off for the races. He used 5 dribbles, including one behind-the-back dribble to avoid Lance Thomas, to cover the entire length of the court. Picking up his dribble near the free throw line, Antetokounmpo took off from well outside the protected circle and soared in for a stretching right-handed dunk, as Cole Aldrich did his best to stay out of the poster. 9. Detroit Pistons big man Jon Leuer found out the hard way about Giannis. As a result, his poster is going to hang on some kid's wall in Milwaukee for years to come. Leuer just so happened to be the victim of an incredibly vicious dunk. With the Bucks leading 33-27, Antetokounmpo raced around a screen, drove to the basket, and completely destroyed Leuer to deliver a ferocious dunk. Even the Bucks announcer had to point out how badly Leuer got dunked on, saying, "Jon Leuer, I know you used to play here. You don't anymore."
Giannis, oh my goodness, Jon Leuer, I know you used to play here. You don't anymore.
8. With just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter of the Kings' blowout loss to the Milwaukee Bucks, super stud Giannis Antetokounmpo used a Brook Lopez screen to get around veteran Iman Shumpert. The 6'11" forward got a full head of steam and ran at the rim. Waiting for Antetokounmpo was Kings big man Costa Kofos, and the scene played out very similar to what you would expect. The Greek Freak went up and over the top of his fellow countryman, hammering a vicious dunk down on a player that he knows very well. Seven. Giannis Antetokounmpo defied the laws of gravity in front of thousands of millions of fans. The Greek Freak got the ball in transition, took off from beyond the dotted line, double clutched to avoid Miami's Rodney McGruder, and was still able to dunk the ball with authority. Wow. 6. The Greek Freak dropped a career-high 44 points and also finished with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in this particular game. One of those steals, however, was a matter of debate. Late in the game, the Bucks trailed 110-109 and desperately needed a stop. Thanks to Giannis, they got one. As CJ McCollum tried to navigate the Bucks' hectic defense pressure, he dribbled toward the free throw line and tried to protect the ball. Giannis knocked the ball away, then sprinted down the other end of the floor and threw down a dunk to put the Bucks up 111-110. Thanks to a big block by Giannis on the next possession, that dunk became the winning basket as the Bucks held on, winning 113-110. 5. The sudden loss of his father proved to be enough motivation for the Greek Freak to play inspired basketball. In the Bucks' 113-110 win over the Portland Trail Blazers, Giannis Antetokounmpo tallied a career-best 44 points, but nothing was bigger than his game-stealing block over Jusuf Nurkic. In fact, and what's even more amazing, the block was only the second part of his two-way clutch sequence. In the previous play, Antetokounmpo stole the ball from Portland and went all the way for a huge slam to give Milwaukee a 1-point advantage. 4. In the playoff game between the Milwaukee Bucks and Detroit Pistons, the Bucks' Antetokounmpo made a layup so incredible, a few fans have been comparing him to Jordan. Antetokounmpo can be seen racing to the basket and attempting a dunk over the Pistons' Andre Drummond. Antetokounmpo fails to dunk the ball, but as he falls back to the court, he pushes the ball away from Drummond and uses both hands to push it back up and finish out the layup while still off the ground. Many people were quick to compare Antetokounmpo's move to Jordan's mid-air hand switch in 1991. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. 3. The Greek Freak freezing point guard Russell Westbrook with a nasty Euro step before throwing down a huge dunk on Serge Ibaka's head and drawing a foul isn't something you see every day. A man as big as Giannis should not be able to do both of those things in one play, but that's why they call him the Freak. 2. We opened up this countdown with Giannis embarrassing a Knick. For the final 2, it is no different for the big man from Greece. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the NBA's most explosive players, as he showed when he leaped from about a step inside the free throw line to throw down a fast break dunk. And when he takes his time, he can do special things too. Antetokounmpo made a turnaround jumper at the buzzer to give the Milwaukee Bucks a 105-104 victory over the New York Knicks. The Greek Freak dribbled for about 7 seconds, calmly backing down Lance Thomas before turning and releasing his jumper from the foul line, the ball going in as time expired. And at number 1, there are good dunks and there are great dunks. And then there are dunks that are just completely ridiculous and have no business being on an NBA court. And then there's this dunk by Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, he really jumped over a man in the middle of the game. For real. Go ahead, I'll give you a second. You can run that back just to make sure. And here's a bit more proof before we move on. Knicks legend Walt Clyde Frazier called it a Statue of Liberty dunk, which, by definition and technique, is correct. But let's be real. There's nothing liberating about that dunk for anybody but Giannis. Only the Knicks can bring out greatness in players. Unfortunately, it's usually the greatness of the opposing players. Check out some of these videos.